Alright guys, so now we're going to be talking about how we can find the least common multiple. Alright, so finding the least common multiple of polynomials, and we have our first polynomial and our second polynomial, and we want to know the least common multiple. So what you want to do here is go ahead and rewrite these out. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this as 2 times x cubed times y to the fourth. And I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this one as 3 times x to the fifth times y to the third. Okay, and this just makes it a little bit easier to break down and see what's going on. So how you're going to want to do this is you're first going to want to look at your coefficients. So my coefficients here are 2 and 3. So what is going to be the least common multiple of 2 and 3? Right? So what is 2 going to do and what is 3 going to do? Right? What will be the least common multiple there? Well, that's going to be 6, right? So for my coefficient, I'm going to write 6. All right? Now I'm going on to my x variable here. Now when you're dealing with variables, you're just going to pick the one with the highest degree, right? Because x to the third will go into x to the fifth, right? And x to the fifth will go into x to the fifth. So it's always going to be the highest exponent on your variable. So if we're talking about the x's, we're going to pick the one with the highest exponent. In this case, it's going to be x to the fifth. So write x to the fifth. Same thing with the y. We're going to choose the one with the highest exponent. Again, that will be y to the fourth. Okay? And this is going to be the least common multiple of these two polynomials. Okay? So that one is done. Let's try another. Alright, so we have the following: x squared plus 3x and actually let's do minus 4 here, sorry. Minus 4. And we'll have x squared minus 3x, x squared minus 3x, and this will be plus 2, okay? Well, here we're given a quadratic, right? And we're asked to find the least common multiple, right? So what you want to do here is go ahead and try to factor both of these, all right? So if I look at this right here, I want to factor this. What can I use to factor this? And again, you can use the AC method here. So a times c will be negative 4. What two numbers when I multiply will be negative 4 but add up to 3? Okay, that's going to be 4 and negative 1, so I'll have x. Oops, x plus 4, sorry. And then x minus 1. Okay? Going on this one, again, you can use the AC method. That will be 1 times 2, which is 2. What two numbers when I multiply will be 2, but add up to negative 3. Well, that's going to be x minus 1 and x minus 2. Okay? So once you have it here, okay, you want to find the least common multiple. So we have factors here. We have x plus 4, we have x minus 1, then we have an x minus 1, and an x minus 2. Alright, so the least common multiple here is we're going to write out the factors that we have. Alright, but if they appear twice like we have here, so we have x minus 1 and x minus 1, we only have to write it one time. Okay, so what we're going to have here is the following. We'll have x plus 4, and we'll have x minus 1. Okay, but again, we have that same factor right here, so we only have to write it one time. Okay, we only have to write that one time, and then we have x minus 2. This is going to be the least common multiple, okay, of these two quadratics that we have. Alright. Alright guys, let's do one more problem dealing with finding the least common multiple. So again, we're given two quadratics again, and they're asking us to find the least common multiple. Well, when you're given two quadratics, you want to go ahead and factor these. Alright, so if I factor this first one, right, this is going to be a difference of 2 squares, so we'll have x plus 5 and then x minus 5, okay? When we look at this one, Okay, this is simply going to be x plus 5 and x plus 5. Now, if you have to use the AC method here to factor, you can do that, okay? As you get better factoring quadratics, you start seeing it and it's a little bit easier, okay? So if you need to use the AC method, go ahead and do that. But here we have, okay, this quadratic factored out, and here we have this quadratic also factored out. Now I'm going to rewrite this right here because this is x plus 5 times x plus 5. So it's really x plus 5 squared, okay? So look what's occurring here. We have a factor of x plus 5, x minus 5, and x plus 5 squared. So remember, okay, in the first problem, how we picked the variable with the highest exponent? Well, we're going to do the same thing with the factors. So if we have the same factor, in this case I have x plus 5 and x plus 5, I'm going to choose the one with the highest power. In this case, it's going to be this one. Okay, so the least common multiple here, when we go ahead and write this, is going to be, well, we have x minus 5. Okay, but then we have two factors that are the same, x plus 5 and x plus 5 squared. We're going to pick the one with the highest power. So this will be x plus 5 squared. And again, we pick the one with the highest power because that's going to satisfy both conditions, right? So we're going to go ahead and circle this. And that is it. Okay? So that is going to be your final answer.